Okay, I would like to start this video by saying it will not be well edited because I'm too lazy to know how to edit, and it will also not be scripted. Everything I'm saying is just my honest thoughts, and I'm just going to say everything as is. So, as some of you may know me, I'm Rollo. I'm known in the Brawl Stars community, mostly on Twitter. I make balance changes, concepts. I make like star powers, hypercharges concept, and other stuff. And I have been in the community for a really long time, ever since 2020. That's like 4 years now. And I have been slowly starting to fade out, both from the community and from the game. And that's because the current state of Brawl Stars is not really good for the dedicated players, the veterans, the players that spend the most amount of time playing the game, that spend the most money on the game, and that are the most vocal, especially about the game. So as you can see, I have been on a trophy grind all the way until, let's say, April 13th. Yeah, let's say April 13th of this year. And from that point on, my trophy progression has been rather stale. As you can see, I have 71,300 trophies right now, and I have all the brawlers. I have 38,000 through 3 wins. I don't play Showdown. That mode is just cancer to me. I do not play it. And I also do not play the new brawlers as much because they are not so interesting to me. They are just they're just reused kits modified from other brawlers, if you know what I mean. Now I would like to start this video by saying how bad the matchmaking is. At this point, everyone who plays the game for as long as I am knows how abysmal the matchmaking is. Like, I have been playing this game from all the way from 2018, first week of the game global release. I have 71,000 trophies, and I play at the 850 to 1,000 trophy range matchmaking. And the fact that I'm always getting queued up with teammates who have less than half of my trophies, and they have one brawler, only one brawler specifically, on the trophy range that we are queued up for, is absolutely baffling to me. And the fact that I have to face people, the entire team, that are on the same skill level and have the same amount of trophies and shit, and I have to 1v3 every single game all by myself, makes me really how do I say it? Really bad. I don't know how to say it. It's just really boring because I could have spent my time doing anything else. I could have played other games. I could have gone outside. I couldn't spend my time watching a show, and makes me want to play the game less because the matchmaking is just atrocious. But matchmaking is never getting fixed in this game. I've given up. I'm pretty sure most players given up. Yeah, that's about it about matchmaking. Next up, I would like to talk about balance changes. We got some buffs, we got some nerfs. Most of the buffs and nerfs do not fix the core issues with the brawlers, such as Willow, such as I don't know, Such as Kit. Like, this completely missed the mark. Yeah, I think this makes no sense. His stun is way too. Kit's stun is way too broken. His damage is way too high. His unload speed is way too high, way too fast. 6k damage in 2 seconds is just. I don't know why they won't change it. It doesn't make sense. When there's so many underwhelming brawlers that they could have buffed, but instead they're focusing on the characters that are getting skins this update. For example, Tick. For example, Mandy. For example, Gus are getting skins, and they just make the brawlers that are getting skins each update better. So players will be I don't want to say forced, but the players will like be attracted to the brawler, so they will go into the shop and buy the skin just for the same brawler to get nerfed into oblivion the next patch or two. And it has been a trend in the game for a while, because every update is we're just getting skins. We're not getting content as much as we used to, which is really sad, I think. It's like Brawl Talks nowadays feel like a skin reveal. Like, most of the Brawl Talk is just a skin showcase instead of like actual content. They don't break down the brawlers as much as they used to. They just show them off and move to skins. They show off the new hypercharges. They swipe past them in 20 seconds and they focus on skins again. It's just really sad. Speaking of balance changes, I'm going to address it now. I've made like a list of brawlers that make absolutely no sense in this current meta. Ignore good and decent. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about the first, last, and second to last row. Larry. Well, when they introduced Larry and Lori, I think that was the game's 9/11. The game was unplayable for almost a month. The developer team knew about the outrage from players and they continued to ignore it, changing it almost a month later with like pathetic nerfs, because they still remain in the top 10 best brawlers. I just don't know why this is a thing. Throwers should not be good in the game. I don't think throwers should thrive in the meta, because there's so few brawlers that can rival throwers, and the addition of unbreakable walls benefit throwers more than any other brawler. So I would just nerf throwers into oblivion. I would nerf Dynamite. I would nerf Borley. I would nerf Tick. I would nerf Larry. Grom and Barry are fine. They're not really good, and I think it should stay that way. Well, I mean, Grom got a buff to his super rate, charge rate, so that might change as well. So we might have more throwers than ever. Next up is Lily. They gave her a second ammo, which completely ruined her niche. Clancy, I don't have to talk about Clancy. We all know about Clancy. He gets a kill. He gets his full ammo bar back. Meg is absolutely broken. She deals way too much damage. Never gets punished for anything at all. Even when she's not in her mecha form, Meg unleashes her attacks way too fast. She unloads really fast. She reloads really fast. She's also fast. Like, she moves fast. She gets a shield. So you struggle way more to kill her. And by the time she's low HP, she gets her mech form anyways. So nice job. Nice job wasting your time trying to kill a brawler that's like unkillable. Mr. P struggles a lot at the beginning, until he gets his first super. Whenever he gets his first super, he doesn't require any thought to play at all, because the porters do all the job for him. Like, I think his super should be changed to whenever a porter spawns, it should take... the home base should take some damage alongside it. So he should, like, form more supers in a way, instead of getting one super and that's it for the game. Tick is way too broken. He deals so much damage. He has such a long range. His super is so deadly. He doesn't get punished at all due to his star powers and gadgets. Frank is broken due to the recent changes. Unleashes attacks way too fast. There should be a hard cap on him. Edgar deserves his own video. His skin makes no sense. Doug as well. Like, I have no idea what Doug is supposed to do in this current meta. Barry got nerfed now, so he's not going to be used as much. But he's basically a heal bot. He's a worse version of Byron that can throw. Like, that's it. Chuck is only really good in heist. He can't function. A good Chuck player can function in other modes other than heist, but he prevails mostly in heist. That's like his star mode. That's his that's where he's most picked, because he's just that easy to play in heist. No punishments at all, never. Gil, you used to be niche, now he's a monster in this meta. He gets his super way too fast. He deals way too much damage with his basic attack combined with his slow star power. Melody is in a really weird spot, if you ask me, because she deals practically no damage. Like, her damage output is laughably low, but her mobility is like she's one of the best mobility characters in the game. And the mobility recently has been on a research, because if you're fast, you're hard to hit, right? I can't believe I'm saying this. But also, ranked nowadays is just like a base rush. Heist is a base rush. Brawl Ball is a score rush. Gem Grab no. Bounty, you could say, is also like, you just want to win the game as soon as possible. And if you don't have fast brawlers, you are going to struggle a lot. So I would like decrease her mobility and increase her damage, because she struggles with killing people, at least from my point of view. Draco, I don't know. He's a tank that turns into a worse Amber. Like, his range is lower. No, his range is shorter than Amber's, which, I mean, okay. So I don't know what Draco's supposed to really do. And Kid is a whole nother story. He was really bad not so long ago. Then he got changed. And now he's thriving in the meta again, like the day he got released. He is not getting punished enough at all. He needs a complete rework. Moving on, we have brawlers that, like, I have no idea what their kit is supposed to do. Like, Bonnie, in her cannon form, should be a sharpshooter, but her range declines her role. You could say it makes no sense, because her range is so short. She's not competing on the same level as Piper, as Belle, as Angelo, as Brock. Her damage is so low, and even when you're out of the cannon form, you still have no range, and you're squishy as hell. Lola is just bad, because other damage dealers do her job better, more efficiently, with less skill. Sam is just forgotten. Like if I had to make a list of the most forgotten brawlers, Janet, what's his name? Dog and Sam would be the top three. Sam has been not used as much as back and he was broken. I mean that's given. But I have not seen a single Sam player for like the past half a year. He does nothing. Actually nothing. His super is so bad. You have to chase your own gauntlets. I don't know, dude. Hank, we all know Hank. His basic sucks. His super does nothing. Janet, I don't know where Janet stands. She struggles to find her own ground in the meta. She's basically a filler brawler. Like she's never used in competitive. She's never used in ranked. People just like her design, and that's what I like about it. Penny sucks. Her basic deals no damage. Travels super slow. Super short range. Needs more buffs. Buster should not get as much value from his super as he is getting currently. In knockout and bounty, he's getting supers way too often, which I don't think is good. He should be more aggressive instead of defensive, if you know what I mean. Carl is getting changed every year. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Because they're scared of nerfing Carl. Oh, not nerfing Carl. Changing his base projectile speed. Bo is does nothing. Grom sucks. You can easily dodge his projectiles, but he's getting a super buff, so he might like go up the meta. And Maisie, ever since her hypercharge nerf, she fell off. Her attack is really hard to hit. Her super does not get as much value as it used to. And therefore, I cannot find a good spot for Maisie in this meta. And for like the most balanced brawlers, we have all of these, in my opinion, because with what's her name? Jesus, I forgot. Okay, let's start with Gray. Gray really hard to hit his not super. His basic attacks are really slim, and they don't travel as fast, so they're quite hard to hit. 8-bit has high HP, super high damage, and he gets his super rather quickly, which increases his super. He increases his damage from the super by a lot. He shreds through opponents really quickly, but at the cost of being extremely slow. He's the slowest brawler in the game, disregarding Surge's first stage. Okay, back to Pearl. Pearl, the more charge up you have, the more value you bring to the team. But at the same time, having a brawler that requires not attacking for a while is really strange, in my opinion, because you're losing out on damage. But at the same time, if you can hit shots while being charged up, you can still. I don't know. She's kind of weird, but also kind of balanced. Gus has lots of survivability for the team, at the cost of dealing practically no damage, but he got buffed now. That's good. Nanny is really squishy, but at the same time she deals like the most damage, consistent damage in the game. If you can line up all your shots, plus her super is really strong, but hard to control. Mortis, we all know Mortis, really high skill cap. Same with Miko. Good Miko players will be really frustrating to face against. Gene is a really good mid brawler. He's mostly picked in Gem Grab, Knockout, and Bounty. Sometimes even Brawl Ball, but not as much. He can keep his team alive really well, and he has the longest range in the game, basic range. Maybe Mandy outranges him. I don't know, but his pinch is really good. Like keeping the enemy on low HP, not being able to heal is really good for Gene. But he struggles against rush rush brawlers like assassins, like tanks, and against like high healing comps like Pam and Poco. Max, she's a mix of DPS and support. She has everything a good assassin should have, if that makes sense. Like she's fast. She doesn't have as much HP. She's very versatile on most modes, and she can speed up her entire team. And also her damage is really good, but really hard to hit. Her basic attack. You will struggle a lot because you have to keep up with the momentum of how you move, while aligning your shots with the enemy team. With the enemy. Sprout is balanced, I would say. Due to his recent buff, so he's going to get more kills, and his super is not really groundbreaking. It's just a wall. And Crow as well, like he doesn't deal much damage, but he's really versatile, almost in every mode, except for like Bounty and Knockout because he's extremely squishy. But he does his job right, I think. Okay, that's all the balance changes. Moving on to recent Brawl Talks. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the recent Brawl Talks for like a year have been really underwhelming. I feel like they're more of a skin showcase rather than actual content reveal, because skins are not content. Content is something that changes the way you play the game, right? Skins do not change the way you play the game at all. They are just there to like visually change the appearance of a brawler. And getting 8 bajillion skins every update is so underwhelming in my opinion. Like, they should focus more on the gameplay itself rather than skins. I don't know how to explain, but I'm frustrated with the amount of skins we're getting. Also, moving on, limited time events. It started with Bazilla, the Godzilla event, yeah, the Bazilla skin. For the first ever collab and limited time event, I would say it was okay. Like the eggs were good, but the mutations were really bad. Like you could not win a game facing a Rico, Meg, Ruffs. You would always lose. You would get the rare star drop instead of getting the egg. And if you're not getting the egg, you're not getting the things you want, so you like wasting your time basically. And as for the Mega Box event, in my opinion, it was the biggest flop. Like this event sucked ass. Like I did calculation at the beginning when the event came out. You could not even get the skin for free by playing the game every day, getting all the star tokens. You could not get the skin for free. So what the developers did, they put more free mega boxes in the shop, and they introduced star tokens in every single mode, right? And the mega boxes were nerfed to oblivion. Like 4 items, 2 to 4 items per box. Actually, nothing burger. I would rate this event like 3 out of 10. Like, the skin is really good. The skin carried the event, and the introduction of the old mode, like all the level 9 brawlers stats and stuff, that was really nice. So yeah, this event was a flop in my opinion. And moving on to new player experience. Let's say you are a new player, right? You look at this. You've never seen Brawl Stars, right? You don't know what Brawl Stars is. You look at this, and you're like, oh my god, my childhood characters are in this game. And you get into the game, right? You get into the game, and you cannot even get these skins. This skin is hidden behind a paywall. This skin is hidden behind a club event. You cannot join a club event you cannot join a club and do the event right away. Let's see. Also, these two skins are like of the mythic rarity, so you will not be getting them anyways. As a new player, when I look at this, I see Squidward, and I'm like, what is he supposed to do? I look at SpongeBob. Why is SpongeBob wearing a mask? Why is he buffed? I look at Mr. Krabs and I'm like, why is he a robot now? I look at this abomination, I'm like, what is it? Is this supposed to be Plankton? And like, do you get what I mean? Like, as a new player, I do not know what I'm looking at. Like, what is all of this? Wait, let me get this. There's so much going on here. Like, I don't. What's all? Look what I don't know. I genuinely know. I genuinely do not know. And look at this. I want to show the offers, right? Look at the offers. Look at the cost. Let me remove the caps. 8,900. So you will be getting, if you play the game every day, 1 or 2 offers tops and max. You will not be getting more offers unless you pay real money. That is, of course, there will 100%. Mark my words, they will 100% be offers for these Mr. Krabs dollars. I don't know, thingies. And moving on to new players, I know I'm all over the place. Frank has recently tweeted that more than 50 players of the Brawl of the more than 50 players of the I cannot talk. More than 50 players of the more than 50% of the players playing Brawl Stars today started playing this year. And this is, like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, what about the rest of the 50 players? Percent of the 50 What about the rest of the 50 players? Percent. Fuck. What about them? Like, we are not, me, as a dedicated player who spent unhealthy amount on this game, I'm getting no content basically. Like, it's they are leaning towards the new players, the casuals, way too much, and there's nothing for players like me to do. There's nothing to see. There's nothing to gain. It's just the same old. Get on the game. Do your dailies. Get your rare star drops. Leave the game. Like, I would love to see the game getting updates for dedicated players like myself as well, instead of watching from sideline, watching from the sidelines, watching all the casuals getting so much content while the others are left behind, wondering when will we get new stuff to the game, which, spoiler alert, we are never getting anything, because Supercell is a company, and companies like money. And when they see money, they want to increase their income, right? So we will never actually get anything groundbreaking, like long term. Everything is going to be time based. Everything is going to be there for one season, and the next season is just going to be a nothing burger. I've made a chart like a cycle, saying like, new Brawl Talk is announced one day before the actual live stream, and there's so much hype. We watch the Brawl Talk, we see all the new stuff, all the new content, we see all the 8 million skins, we see the new reused modes, we see the new bullshit modifiers for ranked, we see the new brawlers with the same mechanics as the rest of the old brawlers, just refined, reused. Then the update comes a few days later, right? And we get the new content for one season, and everyone's happy because we get the new limited time event, we get the new hypercharges which are locked for 1 or 2 weeks unless you pay real money or gems, and then you get the 2 new brawlers, right? So everything's all fine and dandy, and the season's ending. The limited time event is gone, and by now most of the players should have some of the new hypercharges, if not all, have at least one of the new 2 brawlers, if not all. And then the new season arrives. The filler season, the nothing burger season, when there's the season where there's no content, the season where there's nothing to do, the season which is just boring, stale, absolutely nothing's happening in this season. So, what's going on next? People complain until the next Brawl Talk. People complain how there's nothing to do. Like, there's no new content, there's no new limited time events, there's no new hypercharges, there's no new brawlers, there's no new 8 million skins, right? So, what the player base does, they play other games. They go play, I don't know, Fortnite, for example, because Fortnite and Brawl Stars are practically doing the same thing at this point. And so, yeah, Brawl Stars is just going downhill, in my opinion. And it's slowly starting to become a lifeless, money-hungry game that's just milking its players. It's going down the same route as Clash Royale, and we all know how Clash Royale ended up. Like, most of the players quit. There's barely enough content to keep the game going, and everything in that game is overpriced. There's like no life in that game, and yeah, that's about it. Like, Brawl Stars is not doing bad necessarily. It's doing best it ever has. Like, if you look at the statistics of Brawl Stars, it has the most amount of player base, but for someone who spent an unhealthy amount of time playing the game is just stale. There's nothing to do. I would love to see any sort of change to the game, like actual change, instead of getting the same old reused game modes, reused brawler mechanics, limited time events, broken ass hypercharges, brawlers that make absolutely no sense. And I would like to push ladder. I would like to play ranked like I used to when the game was actually hard, because they they're softening the game for the new players. Like little John, who started playing the game 6 months ago, is playing in Masters. Like what the fuck? Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I don't know if I'll ever make another video like this. I just really wanted to vent out because I don't have fun with this game anymore, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, that's about it. Bye.